This is your official workshop return announcement video. Hello to everybody on YouTube. So what I was sitting around realizing for quite some time, I have not uploaded just a random series of me doing whatever the flid in a very long time. YouTube has primarily just been my upload station for whatever LP I'm doing at the time, but on occasion I'm just not doing LPs or whatever. So I've wanted something that I could upload for the longest time now, and since I'm finally getting back to Zelda Classic, we're gonna build a quest for you on screen complete with spoilers and everything. So those of you, the like 2.5 of you who might remember the days of like Arpiga or something from my RPG Maker days, we are going to be building a quest for you, and I'm gonna upload the videos in chunks or whatever. I have no idea how productive these will be. We might stare at combos for one video. We might bullcrap around with Evan in a call for one episode or something. There's kind of no limits here. I'm not initially planning anything, but yeah. So we're going to eventually finish a quest for you, and then I guess you'll be able to play it or play test it, and we'll be testing it on stream as well, just like we did Arpiga back in the day. So again, I'm just trying to experiment with a few more things here. I'm trying to get back into the YouTube spirit. It's been quite some time, but we're deving, and we've got a bunch of people joining us here in chat. We've got Joash, we got Shay, we got Steph, we got Insmail, we got Mr. Booyah, we got the Even, we got Scorpio, we got Sir Archaea, we got Storm of Days. We're kicking this thing off. So let's get some spoilers in here. Some things you can expect in this quest is that thanks to the wonderful wizards of ZC, we finally have Z3 scrolling, so you can expect to see scrolling finally in these darn things. We're basically at no limits here. We've got Pegasus boots, we can bonk, we've got some custom items, we've got, courtesy of Moosh, the real cane of Samaria, not that awful one that I had in AU. I liked that one in AU, but let's be honest, it wasn't really, it wasn't really good. We have Super Pot of Greed Racing. Pot of Greed can place down items. And then if I remember what my buttons are, which I don't. Yep, we can do every classic thing that you want to do. But the Pot of Greed will place things down. Go into pit. There we go. We'll be changing this item around, we'll be messing with certain things, but who's this character, you might ask? Well, it's Duke. It's Duke from AU. Very few people have seen the real Duke sprites because the one uploaded to the ZC database still is the wrong Duke. It's still not the correct Duke. I never ended up updating the quest. I probably won't update the quest at this point. Who the flid knows, maybe I will someday. But it's just a case of going back to AU at this point. There's so much old garbage with that script file that I just do not want to deal with. I don't know if I can bring myself to do it, but yeah. So we're playing as Duke, and we'll get to the first major spoiler here for joining us in this video. Probably a lot of you in Twitch chat who have been following my idea to stream the creation of this quest can suspect this is the case, but I never actually officially announced it. So for joining me today, you all get a major spoiler. That major spoiler being, this quest takes place after AU. So everything that happened in AU, except for a couple things, is canon. And this quest will take place after that. So there you go. Everything else, you'll pretty much see on screen, unless I decide it's not on screen. I'll be doing some things off screen. And anything that you see on screen, there you go. There's the gist of that. I think that gets all the little introductions out of the way, so let's say hi to Moosh, let's say hi to J-Log, and let's get to wasting some time here in Workshop, and let's see what flid we could, what we can get into trouble with here. So, you noticed earlier while I was walking around and talking about this stuff, I picked up the big key. Well, we all know what the big key does. Oh no, not in this quest though. The big key does not open the big chest in this quest. We need the astrolabe for that. It'll deal the same amount of beeps as the compass and the oracles and Link's Awakening. I can't remember if anything else has a compass beep or whatever, but Mainly, I gotta play the oracles, is the point of that discussion, but... Yep, we need, the astrolabe. Once you find the astrolabe, now you can open the big chest. But there's that. So let's get all our old, wacky... music out of the way here. We're gonna be playing some old music here from the Arpago Workshop days. And yeah, like I said, for the YouTube audience, we're just gonna cut these videos every once in a while. I have no idea how I'll label these on YouTube, so if you like background noise or whatever, I don't know, maybe this will be for you. But yeah. So yeah, Smoosh, this is a Duke quest that takes place after AU, which indeed means AU can finally be the prequel to something. Now, hilariously, I can sit around and wait to maybe talk about the quest title later and everything. Kind of like how Joash withheld his info about Tranquil Expression for some time. But there's a really good reason that I can withhold the name of the title of the quest. Get ready for this, chat. Pay close attention, because this will be on the quiz. I don't know the name of the quest yet. Yay! I haven't come up with it yet. We're literally just throwing things up from scratch and taking care of this ourselves, so at some point, who knows, maybe I'll come up with the name of the quest. I do know what the name of the quest will be if I take it in a certain direction. However, I have not decided if I'm taking it in that certain direction yet, but hot dog, there you go. But yep, you forgot he was alive at the end of AU, yep. Yes, there was an interesting post-credit scene, and there was a during-credit scene with Duke as well that people never really quite had the interpretation down for, but it's kind of funny to me, at least. But yeah. You envision him being much older in AU? Nah, he's probably about Zelos' age. They're not that much different from one another. He decided to finally leave that boss arena. And there's so many things about AU that I would like to fix. But I just don't want to go back to it right now. So why don't we check some things out today, chat? Why don't we introduce you to... Well, let's introduce YouTube to some of my sub-screen antics as well. We've designed a custom sub-screen for this quest. I'm probably still going to move some of it around. And obviously the items are not set yet, like there's 2 Stardust Scepters in here. There's this really awful looking pick that I wasn't able to fix. So some of this stuff will be removed and shuffled around. I'm thinking maybe we'll take info and inventory and swap them. But I would just like a second box to go down below. But there you go. Yeah, I know, using that old Kefka sprite didn't really, you know, didn't really help any. I suppose, realistically, Duke should be a bit older than Zelos. Because Duke has quite a long backstory. Here's this. That's not what I wanted. Here's this. This is the passive subscreen that you kind of saw. I didn't have a map, so you didn't notice, but it does respect screen boundaries, which I am very happy about. I didn't actually have to do anything for that to work. So I'm very happy about that. But yeah, just a little bit of info on this quest. I know I'm taking up like so much of the first video with explanations, but it's my fault because I just didn't start, you know, recording at the start of the entire process here. This was originally supposed to be a 24-hour challenge quest. I was going to see if I could make the entire quest in a 24-hour stream. The long and the short of it, I just didn't feel like it would be rewarding at the very end to do it as a 24-hour. I would probably want to go back and fix it anyway, so we're just going to build you a full version here, live on twitch.tv/Teamudf, and you might be shocked to know youtube.com/Teamudf. Alright, that's enough of this. So where do we start, chat? Where do we begin? We begin in a mini dungeon. We begin in a mini dungeon here. We'll probably eventually design the cutscene and everything, but we're going to start off in the Undercroft here. We're going to start ourselves in the Undercroft. We'll have 6 heart containers to start this quest. And shockingly, you'll actually have a better sword at the start of the game. So yeah. So if you're not ready for spoilers, I understand if you want to bow out or check them out later, but I will be talking about spoilers pretty much the entirety of the time here. It took me a while to decide if I actually wanted this palette or not. I think I'm okay with this palette. I don't know. We will probably use this palette for the Undercroft. I feel like I've got a bunch of gray stuff that I'm going to be using already. I don't want to do too much with gray here. So I don't know. We got pits. You can fall through pits and everything. Thank goodness they're not the pits of old. We have, like, real pits now. Hey, fall. I appear back here. We're using unsafe ground. If you, just kind of touch the pots, they fall apart. There's a couple things with the boots that I might have to alter. But yeah. Yeah, Rainstorm did the swords, the corroded sword, the corroded saber, I guess we're calling it. Looks quite good here. I guess I start with a bomb bag, huh? Do I really? Oh wow, I do start with a bomb bag. I guess I'll have to fix this up at some point. I can't actually remember if that's my choice or not. It might be, right? I don't know. Alright, let's get some new music to work on the dojon here, and at least do something fun in the second half of the episode. Let's go for some dungeon music, though. Alright. So we are in the Undercroft. Y'all know I'm immediately going to sit there and imagine that I ruined the first episode of my new series by talking about the stupid D-map title editor for like 10 minutes. God dang it. I guess I can always edit these. Alright. Let's try to get some relevant work done here. Oh, I don't actually need that. No, it doesn't count, Dark 4. It doesn't count. There's gotta be action. Gotta be action. Get the boss theme. It's time to fight Ral. Who remembers Ral? Alright. So I do think we're using Dragon Tower here. This is a bit of a weird one, but I at least don't think I'm going to need, you know, I don't think I'm going to need this purple anywhere else. You know me and my purple dungeons. Now I do have like a cave planned that's a little bit of a brighter purple over here with the normal. I could also go clear here. There's a lot of what ifs with this quest so far because, like I said, it's basically brand new. The ideas are like, what, 2 weeks old or something at this point? I'm not actually entirely sure myself. I had to label these with 167s because there's like 1,000 tiles left over from the AU version of this tile set. And it's driving me it was driving me crazy. There are actually just a lot of things I need to get rid of in this tile set that are from the AU days. Like, if you've been watching the streams building up to the series here, you've probably been able to see, yeah, we've just kind of like eaten an entire page for Trinex from back in the day and everything. It's, oh man. Look at all this combo space that's being eaten up for Trinex. A boss that, I'll remind you, does not appear in AU. Because we were never able to do that. But yeah. Oh gosh. What a mess! But yeah, we're gonna do this little small intro dungeon. We're only gonna have you with the sword for now. Obviously, when I load in, basically when you load in, you can make your inventory look however you want. Oh, you know what I wanted to test though? I wanted to see. Yeah, okay, so that's luckily just in the thing, I'm guessing. Okay, yeah, I must have given myself a bomb bag for some reason in the test file. I don't remember why. Oh boy. But yeah, I doubt this probably can be well, I guess it'll be a little longer than the bunker from AU. Who remembers the bunker? Oh my god. Boy howdy, I sure wish I could look at this 2x2 room all at the same time. Wow, now with ZC 3.0 you can zoom out and work on multiple screens at the same time. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so the engine has had quite a few updates since I last talked about it on any form of YouTube video or whatever. Obviously, people on the channel will be following ZC if they're already interested in that kind of thing, so this won't be a surprise to some of you. But it's just, man, for some of you, I imagine there's people watching this who will be like, I remember when you used to rant about this in like your Parallel Worlds videos or something. I would go to that room with the 4 sets of floor tiles or whatever, and I would always talk about my Zelda Classic projects. But that's probably like the main outlet a lot of people on the YouTube audience had for that sort of thing at the time. The room, dude. When Joash did his playthrough, he was like, wait a minute, this is the room. It's the room, dude. But yeah, oh man, so let's go test our new really cool screen scrolling region and everything. Oh no, wait a minute. It's not scrolling. What happened? Well, you can just decide. Go right to quests and regions. Come on over here and just set them to flit up. It'll give you a little highlight for what room you've currently got highlighted. If I highlight these 4 rooms, now those rooms will respect Z3 scrolling, and it's as simple as that. Now we can walk around to our heart's content. Make it very nice and simple. The only caveat is you just can't have anything other than rectangles right now, which honestly is probably the right decision. I think, I don't know, doing this with anything other than rectangles does feel like it would be kind of a mess of it. I can't even fault them for that one. But yeah, you want anything to connect, just give them some numbers here. If you wanted these 2 rooms to connect and you're running low, because there's only like 10 regions total, but I can just come on over here and like, you know, make more 1s or whatever. It's actually like very simplistic to use. They get you a whole Z3 user guide. Who would possibly, I've had this discussion with Joash already, but like even just 5 years ago, who working in this program would have possibly believed that we would have a menu option in ZC that says Z3 user guide, and you just open it up and it explains how Link to the Past scrolling works and everything, and it's just, man, what a time. What a time. 210 shenanigans with direct warps to make irregular shaped regions. Alright, I guess that's interesting, but I suppose. It's nice that it's technically possible, because you know me, I have to respect the ability to break the engine, right? It's basically my gimmick. That's like the only thing I did in AU was break the engine. This particular dungeon, mini dungeon I guess you could call it, I don't really have too many plans for it. For those of you interested in organizing things, like I said, this is spoilerific, so you're just gonna get spoilers right after the flip. Those of you interested in like organizing and everything, I've picked up a neat program called Obsidian. I think it's technically like called Obsidian MD or something, I don't know. Anyway, Obsidian. But yeah, you could just kind of, yeah, make like Wikipedia-styled outlines with this thing. There's quite a bit of stuff in here already. As you can kind of see on the side here. There's quite a few things that I have filled in already. So we're using this to organize the quests in a way that might be better than the usual garbage I would do in word processing. Now, I was joking around with Evan about this last night. What I actually used to do is I would just start organizing things in Word, and then partway through, I would just kind of stop and not actually organize anything. So a lot of my quests end up, I fly by the seat of my pants after like the first initial planning process. This one, I've got like full on more details and everything. Here's a side quest that we'll be designing with someone called the Investor. The Investor offers Duke the chance to invest rupees for a return, depending on how many main story dungeons he has beaten after withdrawing. If Duke does not withdraw, he'll automatically reinvest up to 3 times. After 3 story dungeons, the Investor is finished with their current business and has no more opportunities. If you invest in the beginning of the quest, Chapter 0, you pay 100 rupees, you can get a maximum payout of 800 rupees later down the road. But if you invest a little later, well, he's going to finish his business a little faster. So your maximum output will only be 400 or 200. So yeah. So this is just, like I said, a little bit of planning that you can do with this program, Obsidian. I have thoroughly enjoyed it so far. I probably don't have as many pages as I need to have for this, but they're honestly going to be a pretty good time. You'll get to meet various characters like the Armor Master. Oh man, we've got like relationship statuses and everything, kind of like you'd see on a Wikipedia article. He's found in the Misty Wilds dungeon. He's got little quotes and everything. I tried to set myself up with enough lore here that we can just kind of do stuff. I've got like little secondary notes for myself here. Duke wants to leave as little of a footprint as possible, so when going through various quests such as the Strongest Guardian, Parallel Elements, Spirits, and Shadows, Duke tries not to interfere with any continuing process. For example, when he defeats the Armor Master, Duke turns down the chance to be the champion. So yeah, I can leave myself little reminders here and everything. We're going to use quite a bit of stuff here. I'm not going to go to my intro doc just yet. Just yet. Because we're going to build some spoilers on the screen, so to speak here. Have a little bit of fun with this. But yeah. So I don't know. I guess consider this a little bit of an intro. I'm going to try to keep these videos a little shorter than what they might have been in the Arpaga days. That way they're just a little easier to organize. So we're going to cut the footage here for this first intro one, but when we come back in the next episode, we will be the Cheez-It champion. No, we will be working on this first little mini dungeon, probably. So we will catch you in the next one for the YouTube audience. Thanks for watching. We'll see you all on the other side.